Okay, so the last topic that we will talk about in the graphs unit is graphs in real life context. It's a very important, again, lesson, and we will talk about it a lot in grade 8, inshallah. The main objective in this lesson is to know how to draw and interpret graphs in real-life contexts involving more than one stage, like traveling graphs that are related to speed and so on. Now, these are the main things about graphs in real life. So you should know that we have the x-axis, which is most of times related to the time. The time can be given in minutes or hours or seconds. Sometimes it depends what is moving and its speed. But in the x-axis, we most of time talk about times. The y-axis, we talk about distance from home here, for example, distance between any two cities. It's not necessarily to be all the time distance. Sometimes in the graphs, we represent speed, okay? Not speed and accelerations. We will talk about that later. So the y-axis sometimes can be distance, sometimes can be speed, okay? Now, if you look at this graph, for example, again, this is the timing and this is the distance. And if you look at the intervals of the y-axis, it's from 0 to half, half to 1, 1 to 1.5, 1.5 and 2. So we skip counting by halves, but there are two spaces between 0 and half. So how many units we count from this 0 up to this part? And it's like, what is half of half? Okay, since 0 to half, we skip count by a quarter, 0.25. So this is actually 0, 0.25, half, then add another 0.25, it's going to be here 0.75, 1, 1.25, 1.5, 1.75, 2, 2.25, and so on. Okay, now this blue line here, and we have blue line and we have green line. The green lines here, that means the steeper gradient shows gradients. It's like when we say a line that is not horizontally or vertically, it's steeping. It can be steeping up like the green one here. So when your line is steeping up, it means that the speed is getting faster. It shows faster speed. And this blue one here, it means that the person who's moving, running, walking, or the car, whatever the object that we're talking about, is stopping, taking a rest, a break, whatever. It's not moving from here up to here. So look, from 0 to 10, in the first 10 minutes, the object was moving faster. The distance that it moved is, you go to the y-axis to know how much is the distance, 0.75. What is the unit? Kilometers. This is it. Then after moving for 10 minutes, it's stopped. For how many minutes? From 10 to 40. From 10 minutes, after 10 minutes of moving, stopped up to 40 minutes, which means it stopped for 30 minutes. So this is like 10, 20, 30 minutes not moving. Then it started moving back. Sorry, not moving back. Continue moving forward for how many minutes? You can just count the minutes from the x-axis. Look, the second green line started here, 40, 50, 60. Look at the green line. If you go, you have to be very precise in knowing the numbers. So the green line ends here. So if you go down, it didn't stop for 70. It stopped between 60 and 70, which is 65. So 40 to 65, how many minutes are there? 25 minutes. You just subtract 65 minus 40. So it's 65 minutes. 25 minutes moving. The distance that it moved in the second stage from 0.75 up to 2. To know how many kilometers was that, you just subtract them. 2 minus 1.75, where did it end with and where did it start with? You get the total distance for that stage only. So in the first time here, it walked or it moved 0.75 kilometers, then stopped, 0 kilometers, then walking again for 1.25 kilometers. Okay. Now, Jana, do you want to ask about anything?
Miss, the horizontal line, could it mean that it's moving at a constant speed, or does it always mean it's resting?
Wait, Jana, I can't hear you. There's something wrong with the speakers. Again, Jana, please.
The horizontal line, could it mean that it's going in a constant speed, or does it always mean that it's resting?
If we're talking about distance here, that means no, it's resting. But later on, when you have a graph on the y-axis, Jana, when it shows speed here, not distance, that the horizontal line means constant speed.
Oh, okay.
Not stopping. So that depends on your graph. What do you have on the y-axis? If you're talking about distance, no, that means the distance is 0. He's not moving. But when you have speed, no, the horizontal line means it's moving, but in a constant speed.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, let's have, for example, here, it's about Ahmad's journey, walking to his home and trying to get into a bus. So if you look at this, we have time on the on the x-axis and distance on the y-axis. First of all, he walks, if you look at this part, he walks for 10 minutes. If you want to describe his journey, he walks for 10 minutes. This is the first interval of the graph. He walks for 10 minutes. How many kilometers did he walk? 1 kilometer. Okay? After walking 10 minutes, he stopped here. Why did we use stopped, not walking in a constant state? Because we have distance on the y-axis. We're talking about the speed of his moving. So here he stopped for how many minutes did he stop? From 10 to 20 to 30. So he stopped 20 minutes, not moved. So this is the second interval. He waits for a bus for 20 minutes. This is the waiting distance. Look, this is how we count how many minutes. The starting here, stopping here, and finished waiting for the bus until the bus comes here. So 20 minutes. Then, who can tell me what is the last interval, this line? What does it represent? Can anyone describe this last part here? Muhammad?
Yeah, the last the last line here is like the first line that it stopped from the rest and it continued its journey and it walked as the yeah
He's walking, yeah.
he walked um
How many
40
minutes?
40 minutes and traveled for 1.5 kilometers.
He walked 40 minutes in the last part
Oh,
only,
no,
after he
10
stopped.
after 10.
10 minutes, excellent. He started walking 30 after 30 minutes and stopped walking after 40 minutes. So it's actually, look, the bus doesn't come. So he starts walking again after a total of 40 minutes. So 10 minutes here. And how many kilometers did he walk? It's
How? One, no, in the
1.5.
minutes or in total?
In total, 40
1 point.
minutes, but the last part only 20 minutes.
No, I mean the distance.
Mhm.
The you mean the total 1.5 or the last 10 minutes? How much did you walk? The total, right?
Yes, the total is 40 minutes. The total for his journey. Okay?
Okay.
بس هلا ممكن if they ask you how many minutes did Ahmed walk in after he finished after he had a rest or after he stopped بس not the total, it's gonna be only 10 minutes, sorry. But the total, he has 10 minutes walking here, 20 minutes resting here, and 10 minutes in the end. So 40 minutes in total is his journey. And the total distance that he traveled or walked is 1.5 kilometers. Okay, Muhammad, any question?
No, thank you.
You're welcome. Sarah, do you have any question? Okay, Mariam, any question? Mariam. Okay, let me go to the next question now. This is an example. It says this graph here shows fares charged by two different taxis. Okay, so as you see, sometimes our graph is talking about two things happening at the same time, sometimes three things happening at the same time. So here we are talking about two taxis, taxi A and taxi B. And by two different taxis. Now part B says, how much does taxi A charge and then, sorry, wait. How much does each taxi charge for a journey of 7 kilometers? So see, we have distance on the x-axis and cost in dollars on the y-axis. That means if, for example, taxi A, like work for 1 kilometer, after 1 kilometer he charged, this is one, look, and this is taxi A. So we look at taxi A, 1 kilometer he charged $2. But taxi B, when he walked, or when he works, yes, 1 hour, 1 kilometer, sorry, he charged like $4 and I mean $5, about $5. هلا part A they say how much each taxi A and taxi B charge for a journey for 7 kilometers, Jude?
Taxi A charges $14 and
Yes,
taxi
excellent.
B.
This is taxi A and this is 7 kilometers. So we go from 7 kilometers up to the line that's related to taxi A It's $14. Excellent. What about taxi B?
$11.
Taxi B, excellent. This is 7 kilometers. Go straight up to the line that's related to taxi B. This is it. We reached it. Now we go to the y-axis. We found it's between 10 and 12, which is $11. Thank you, Jude. Excellent. Type, who can answer part B? Part B says, how much does taxi A charge for each kilometer? For every kilometers, how many dollars he gets? زينة الجوهري.
$2.
$2. Excellent. Look, this is taxi A. After 1 kilometer, he charges $2. 2 kilometers,
Yes.
4. 3 kilometers, 6. 4 kilometers, 8. So we are skip
8.
counting by
2.
By 2. Excellent, Zena. Thank you very much. So how much does taxi A charges for each kilometer? $2. Okay, let's go to question C. C says, taxi B has a fixed charge and then charges a certain amount for each kilometer. How much is the fixed charge? هلا you know the fixed charge here it's actually like احنا بالأردن بنسميها العداد اللي هو أول ما يشغل التاكسي بيفتح العداد. Okay, هدول اليالو taxis. So how much is the fixed charge of taxi B? Who can answer that? Let me see if there's any boy. عمر أبو عابد. Yes, Ahmad.
Oh, yes, teacher.
Yeah.
Taxi A or taxi B?
B, taxi B.
Charges $4.
Yes, the fixed amount. Charge. Yes, excellent. The fixed amount that taxi B is charging is $4. Okay, type Omar, can you tell me double I says how much is each kilometer charging after $4?
$1.
$1, excellent. Look, after 1 kilometer, first of all, he takes $4 once you get to the taxi. Then, if the taxi drives for 1 kilometer, he takes 5, 2 kilometers, 6, 3 kilometers, 7, 4 kilometers, 8. So we skip count by 1, so it's 1 kilometer. Thank you, Amar.
You're welcome.
Okay, yeah, let's go to part D here. Haneen, part D.
What distance will cost the same amount in either taxi?
Yeah.
4 kilometers.
Excellent. It says what distance will cost the same amount. Same amount, it means when the two taxis intersect, when their lines intersect. So they intersect here. When they intersect here, it means same amount with same distance. So same amount is 8. For which distance? 4 kilometers. Excellent, Haneen. So these are our answers. Okay, let's go to another question, another example. Here, we're talking about Zalika and Tanesha. They are cycling on the same route. The graph shows their journeys. Now, in the axis, the x-axis, we have the timing. Timing, it shows the time in hours. So this is 9, 9:30, 10, 10:30, and the distance in kilometers, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and so on. Yalla, who can answer part A? Lean Al-Kumi.
Yes, teacher.
Yalla, what's part A?
Zalika started at 9. What time did Tanisha start? 9:30.
Yes, this is it. Like this is the line of the Zalika. Where did it start from? 9. When did Tanisha start? At 9:30. So easy. Type part B. How far did Zalika travel in the first hour? I need other boys. There is Only Muhammad and there's Zaid. Yes, Zaid. Oh, he went. طيب علي خواجة.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, Ali.
Yeah, how far did Zalika travel in the first hour?
Yes.
In the first hour, Zalika traveled 20 kilometers.
Excellent. Excellent, Ali. So look, in the first hour from 9, she started at 9. That means she, after 1 hour, 10. So this is 1 hour. So at 10, we go to Zalika's line, and then we go to the y-axis. We found it's 20 kilometers. Thank you, Ali. Part C. Part C. Tala.
Yes, teacher.
Yes,
Part
Tala.
C.
Yeah.
How long was Tanisha cycling before she caught up with Zalika? She was cycling for
When did they quote each other? Catch each other?
before 10:30. Before 10:30.
Yes, they catch each other here when they meet. They meet here at 10:30. But
Yes.
Tanisha, when did she start?
At 9:30.
At 9:30. So how long did she cycle before they catch each other?
An hour.
An hour. Yes, excellent. She already started cycling at 9:30. They meet each other at 10:30. So for how long did she caught up? Did she cycle before they caught up?
1 hour.
1 hour. Yes, excellent. Okay, the last example about this. This is Lucas and Simon. Lucas is driving from Iton. Look, this is Lucas. He's driving from Iton to Byberry, 2 cities here. Simon is driving back. He's driving back from Byberry to Iton. Now, part A says, how long did Lucas take to get Midley? I'm trying to select students who didn't answer. Sarah, Al-Razam.
Yeah, teacher, can you hear me?
Yes.
He takes 1 hour and a half.
From Byberry to Midley, we were talking about Lucas. So this is Lucas. From Byberry to Midley, it takes him. How did you figure it out? 1 hour and a half.
Teacher, wait a minute. I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
Look, Sarah.
Is it 2 hours?
Look, since we're talking about Lucas, we just care about the line that's related to Lucas.
Yeah.
The places that we're talking about, how long did Lucas take to get to Midley? This is Midley.
Yeah.
You're right. You're talking.
Yeah.
Sorry, and I thought I was looking at Simon's line. Yes.
Yeah.
From Iton to Midley, it's 1 hour and a half. Yes, excellent, Sarah.
Okay.
Okay. Type. Let's go to part B. Part B. Zaina.
Yes.
Yes, Zaina.
How long did Lucas stop at Midley?
Yes. Look, he stopped
hour and a half. Hour
excellent.
and a half.
Yes, excellent. He stopped here after 1 hour and a half until 3 hours. So 3 minus 1.5 is 1.5 already.
1.5.
Yes, excellent. Yes. So he stopped for 1 hour and a half. Okay, let me choose from the boys. Zaid, are you there? Said, are you there? As you're raising your hand. طيب, there's Muhammad Al-Umari. برضه you lowered your hand. Muhammad Haddad.
Yes, hi teacher.
Hi. يلا محمد. Part C.
How long did Simon take to get from Bibury to Aiton?
Yeah.
Okay. It took him 2 hours. No, 3 hours.
It took him. How long did Simon take to get from Bayberry to Aiton? Hi, Bayberry, here. So you count from 0 up to 5.
But teacher, he is still in. He is resting in Bayberry right now.
Oops.
Until it is time in 2 hours.
Yes, هلا he was resting for 2 hours. And yes, about moving, he moved from here. After 2 hours, after resting for 2 hours, he started driving. So the length or the duration of driving is 2 hours to 5 hours, which is 3
hours.
3
and
hours.
In A, it's 2 hours, not an hour and a half.
Where? Part
In,
A?
Yes.
Why 2 hours?
Because he started from Bibri and the line is at Bibri. So from 5 to...
No, we're talking about Lucas in part A.
Okay.
Okay, this is Lucas. This is the line that's related to Lucas.
Yes.
Lucas, it says, how long did Lucas take to get to Midley? So he started from Aiton. Why Bibury? We're not talking about this city.
Oh, okay.
احنا بنبدأ من هون. ما ببدأ من هون وبرجع. Okay, so it's 0 and he reached it there. If you look at the x-axis, it's between 1 and 2. So 1 hour and a half.
Yeah, and teacher, there is before, not this slide, the 2 slides before, there is a question I didn't understand.
Which one? Here? Which one here?
Not here, the slide before.
This one?
Yes.
Yeah. In?
C.
هلا see, they tell you, look at taxi B. The line for taxi B didn't start from 0. هلا taxi A started from 0. That means, once you get to the taxi, عادي, you pay nothing. But for each kilometer that taxi A drive, you pay $2. Taxi B, once you get into the taxi, you have to pay $4 even if the taxi didn't drive. شايف distance 0 but you have to pay $4 because you ordered that taxi. يمكن هذا taxi is Uber. Okay, but you have to pay a fixed amount, $4. But then for each kilometer he drives, you pay a specific amount.
Yeah, for each kilometer
$1.
Okay, yes.
Okay, هي انت بدك تطلع على distance و compare it with the cost. هي 1 hour 5, 2 hours 6, 3 hours 7, and so on. So for each hour you pay $1. Sorry, for each kilometer you pay $1.
$1. Okay, thank you, teacher.
You're welcome. طيب, let's go to our question. Oops. Part D of the question. طيب, let me go to Jana. Hi, Jana. Yalla, Jana. Start. Do question D.
How far the cars were from Burberry when they passed one another?
Yeah.
So, they passed at 160, let's say.
Yes, they meet here, which is about 160, 170. It doesn't matter because we're approximating, so both are correct, but it's closer to 160. Yes.
So 140.
Excellent. Yes, excellent, Jana. So see, when they passed each other, when they meet, it's 160. هلا, we don't need the distance from 0. It says how far were they from Barbary. So 160, how far is it from 300? We subtract 300 minus 160, which is about 140 kilometers. Okay, and here they put about 130. So if you say about 130, about 140, both of them are okay. So this is how we deal with the real life graphs. It's very interesting. And you just have to be careful to the intervals. You have to be careful to the things that you count in the x-axis, the y-axis, and understand the questions very well. So before we end the meeting, if there's anything you want to ask about, keep your hand raised. The others, if you have nothing, just lower your hand so I can just make sure that there's nothing. Sarah, is there anything?
Yeah, teacher.
Yes, Sarah.
Teacher, when we solve like the booklet, we have
Yeah.
to send it to you?
No. It's just for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Zaid. Anything?
Teacher, you unmuted me.
It's okay, خلاص. Do you have any questions, Ruud?
Yeah, about the last question that we just solved.
Yeah.
They said about 130. Does 125 work? Because like it's half.
But it's not half actually. If you look at the presentation, it's before the half in few.
Oh.
فما
Okay.
تخليها exactly half, at least something before the half.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Okay, welcome. Tala, anything?
Teacher, I didn't understand the last question you solved.
طيب, I will repeat it now, but let me check if Zaid wants anything.
Okay.
Zaid, you keep raising your hand, but you're not... Okay, Muhammad, anything?
So the people who have no questions, can they leave?
Yes, you can leave. But I'm just gonna repeat the last part. If you don't want the last part, you can leave. Thank you for your attending. And let me just now check on the last part for you, Tala. This is the last part. The last part, Tala says, how far were the cars from Biberi when they passed one another? Passed one another means when they meet. They meet here. When they meet here, we're talking about how far, which means distance. So we need to go to the y-axis, the distance. When they meet, it's not exactly the half, it's before the half in few. Let's say, it's 100, 150, 200. So it's between 150 and 200. You can say it's 160, 170. It's okay if you use any of them. You can use 165 although. So we need that distance away from where? From Barbary. This is what the question wants, not from Iton. If it's from Iton, we take the answer as is, 160. But since we're talking about Barbary, we would have to take away that distance from 300, which is related to Barbary. So if you subtract 300 minus 160, you get 140. If you used 170, you get 130, and so on. Okay, Tala. طيب, Mariam, anything else fast? Because the time احنا كثير هيك طولنا. Yes, Mariam. Mariam. Okay, Sarah again, anything?
Yeah, teacher.
Yes.
It is 170 because when you subtract them, if you put 160, it will be 140.
Yeah, I know, but even if you write about 140, it's not gonna be wrong. It's accepted.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Inshallah, see you tomorrow with a new topic that we will talk about. Bye.